Hey guys, as promised, second video of the day today. It's an actual fact, coming back to the facts. So this was actually inspired by my driving instructor, who I went to go, I'm taking driving classes at the, I've been taking driving classes, so, because I don't have my driver's license just yet. But anyways, we were talking about physics today. That was one of the classes that I took, the physics of car crashes. And one of the questions talked about centrifugal force. And I remembered that, and I remembered something about that. So we're going to talk about centrifugal force today, even though that's not actually what it is. Centrifugal force is not a thing. So you've probably seen some version of this experiment. Maybe your physics teacher showed you it, or somebody else showed you it, of someone being able to take a cup of water attached to a string and swing it around and swing it over their heads, and really fast, and none of the water comes out. And they tell you it's because of something called centrifugal force. Well, that is dead wrong, and you should immediately go and shame whoever told you that. Actually, don't do that, but it is wrong. It's not an actual thing. What it actually is inertia, and this is going to get a little physicsy for some of you, so I'll try to explain it in a way that's really easiest to understand, so that it's easy to understand for those of you who do not want to go into the physics field. So here we go. Centrifugal force is not actually a thing, so then what is it that keeps the water in the cup? It's actually inertia. So I want to use a little analogy. Let's say we build a roller coaster that has a loop in it. So here you go. Here's your roller coaster loop. There's your car. There's you. You're having a good time. You're heading counterclockwise around this thing. So in that direction. So, and you take a freeze frame right there. So what is your speed at that point? Well, speed is well, first let me talk about there are two different measurements. There's speed and velocity. Speed is a scalar, it's just a measurement, and velocity is a vector, which is a speed and a direction, if that makes sense. So speed would just be miles per hour, but velocity would be miles per hour in this direction. So what we want to know is, what is your speed? Where is your speed directed when you're at that point? Well, the thing with uniform circular motion in kinematics, which is a study of motion, is in uniform circular motion, the velocity of the object in uniform circular motion will always be tangent to the circle. So the velocity will always be tangent to the circle. So if you're here, your velocity will be in that direction, more or less. But like if you're here, draw ourselves another little roller coaster car here. There you are, woohoo, having a good time. Your velocity would be aimed in that direction. Same if you were over here, except you would be facing the opposite direction. You'd be facing this way. So your velocity vector will always be pointing tangent to the circle you're moving in. So let's say we have a terrible amusement park who doesn't care about people's safety, and we remove half that loop. Yeah, don't worry, you're never going to run into a roller coaster like this because if you did, you probably wouldn't ride it because you would realize that you'd die, and also the fact that a bunch of parents and other people would be suing the living crap out of this amusement park for endangering other people, and that amusement park would not last very long after that. So, but let's say it happens. Let's say an amusement park builds a roller coaster with half the loop gone, with the other half of the loop gone. So then, what happens would be, you'd start here, you'd go around. There you go, you're having a good time. Have not realized yet that you were doomed to death, but whatever. So you're going around, and you're going, and you're going, and you're going. Then what? Then what happens? Well, since there's no more loop to push against your car, keep you going around, you would just keep going. I'm sorry. Screwed that up. You would just keep going. You'd fly off the tracks, and you'd now be upside down. So, that'd probably be a wonderful sight, realizing that you're about to fly face first into the pavement and be crushed by a roller coaster car. But you just keep going in that direction until gravity eventually pulls you down, which it would actually do very fast because. Anyways, but you'd keep going. So then, why is it the loop allows you to go all the way around? Well, it's because of your velocity. Since your velocity is always tangent to the circle, the normal force will always be directed this way. Will always be perpendicular to your velocity, and your applied force will always be going outwards, like that. So this is your normal force. So these three arrows here are your normal force, and then these three arrows here are your applied force. So then you just go around. But you have to be going fast enough where gravity, because keep in mind, gravity is also here, so we have the force of gravity. Hold on, let me put some labels on these suckers. Okay, hold on. God, I'm a terrible speller. Alright, hang on, almost there. Applied force. Okay. So, let me just finish labeling these. Alright, so I had to pause the video for a second because I was receiving a call, but I'm back now. Where was I? So the force of gravity, but you need to be going fast enough around the loop that everything balances out, because the force of gravity will always be pulling you down no matter where you're at. So the force of gravity is pulling down here, it's pulling down here, and it's pulling down here. So what happens is the force of gravity is trying to slow you down here, so you have to make sure you're going fast enough to get to the top, and as long as you can get to the top, you're good. Because once you get past that point, gravity will help you out, to help you out going around. I was gesturing the wrong way, but anyways, so you have to make sure that you can get to the top, because here the force pulling down on you is the greatest, because the normal force and the gravity force are adding together. And so you need to build up enough inertia to keep you going around until that point. And that's what the supposed centrifugal force is. It's not actually a force, it's just inertia, based on Newton's first law, that a body in motion tends to stay in motion, and a body at rest tends to stay at, or here's an easier way to put it. A body will remain in the same state of motion unless acted upon by an outside force. So what that means is, if it's at rest, it will continue to rest. If it's going at a certain speed, it will continue to go that certain speed. Both of those will occur unless it is acted upon by an outside force. That's the law of inertia, and that's why the water stays in the cup. Because if you don't spin it around fast enough, there's not going to be enough inertia to keep the water in the cup, and you'll end up getting water everywhere. Yeah, so now you know a little bit. Oh, one more thing I wanted to add. There's another force that goes along with centrifugal force called centripetal force, but that is an actual force. It kind of keeps things steady. Oh, wait. Do I have it backwards? If I have it backwards, I'm going to be really upset. Oh, shoot. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to cover centripetal force, but there you go. You know about centrifugal force. So I hope that was helpful. And if you like this video and want to hear more about some of the laws of physics, feel free to leave those suggestions in comments. If I did end up flipping it around and actually describing centripetal force, then please feel free to verbally abuse me in comments, because that was stupid of me. So yeah, that's all for this video. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.